win. I'll say Phillies beat the Diamondbacks in 5, and I'll say the Rangers beat the Astros in 6. There's our baseball takes. Me and Ben close enough, but Rangers will be your fresh face.
Close enough. Yeah, close enough. Listen, D-backs, like we said, it's fun team. I see you, Lewis, out there too. I see Lewis. Uh, I got to agree. I got to agree. I know the Patriots got a quarterback problem over there. I'm interested in seeing who's 32 out of 32. I know he said max 31 out of 32. I'm interested in seeing who's dead last, but I know we shifted that one. Sorry, Josh. I had to get that one in there. Lewis bringing up, obviously the Patriots wide receiver problems as well. Parker, 84th. Juju, 77th. Hey, good for Juju. I thought he'd be a little lower than that. So Juju doing well over there. And Jacoby Myers doing well over in Oakland. They just got to slip that shot in there. You got to get that one in there as well for everybody. But, you know, one switch that one in there, Josh. Throw that in there. Yeah, we'll go. We'll go D-backs. Who cares? Yeah, we'll go D-backs. MLB, listen, it's on the back burner right now. No Sox or Yankees for us. It's time for the NFL and surging Bruins team looking really good. I'm getting the season, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the MLB, but it's gonna take the back seat for a little while, Josh.
That's fair. And we can get to the Bruins quick. I mean, hey, everybody asks, what's your podcast about? We get to all the Boston sports. We get to all the major sports. But it's just like the midst of football season right now. Let's quickly get to the Bruins. They're buzzing. They're in a buzzing start right now, 2-0. I like what I'm seeing out of them, Ben. Olmark's been solid in net as well. Like I said, you got basketball coming around the corner. You've got the height of fantasy football right now, pretty much. I'd say like maybe give or take a week or two. There's just a lot going on in the NFL. But the Bruins, I'm liking what they're seeing. And hey, I'm going to leave it like this. It's too early for me to get on my crazy takes. Again, we have months and months of this stuff. We've got weeks and weeks of Timeout Talks content where me and Ben are going to be talking about the Bruins. But I will say somebody who wasn't able to join the show today, that's okay. But James has a hot take for the Bruins. And I'm going to leave it with this before I turn it over to Ben before we quickly shuffle over to the NFL, which is what you guys are very excited for. James thinks that the Bruins are going to win a playoff series this year. That's his bold prediction for the Bruins. And if you think about it, it's pretty bold because the Bruins didn't even win a playoff series last year. So, hey, I'm going to leave it with that. I don't know how I feel about that. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I'm sold on that. Again, it's only been 2 games out of an 82 game regular season, so I'm not like putting all my eggs in a basket for them to make the playoffs, but I'd say I'm 75% confident that the Bruins make the playoffs, and I'm 55% confident in that James statement.
Yeah, I'll jump on that statement as well. I'll jump in the bandwagon with you guys. Yeah, I mean, come on, these youngsters out there. I haven't been watching too much of it, Josh. I'm not the big hockey, sort of down to the level of that sport, But from the guys I know the sport, they've been telling me the youngsters have been doing well. Good center lineman's over there for us. I forget his name. I don't want to butcher his name either, but
Hampus
they've been telling
Lindholm.
me the youngsters have been playing well.
Lindholm?
No, it's just one of the centers. One of the centers. Forget what his name is. I can let me get from my Star Market people. They're a little deeper into it. Here we go. Yeah, Lewis. Lewis was a little depressing one. Yeah, but I kind of tend to more agree with Lewis on that one. Yeah, I mean, I think we might avenge, just that embarrassment of losing to the Panthers in that sort of fashion that we did last year. So I can jump on that stadium with Jimmy saying we'll get this playoff series. I think I could definitely see this team winning a series. We still got the talent. Uh, you know, bringing it up, Lewis. Come on. That was a good Panthers team. That Panthers team was on a
This is a
roll
tough
last
one,
year. We
boys.
kind of that was a tough one. It was a
He's
tough one, but he's still on it.
he's
He's still on
fired
it,
up
but
about it. He's just all
he's
around
fired up.
bad. Boston bad. Losing first round. This is him trying to poke the bear a
Yeah.
little bit for those Bruins fans. But sorry, Ben.
Let's get it going. No, that's good. I want him to keep it going with the Patriots too. That's why I want to poke the Patriots. We didn't get a chance to make fun of them for that Saints loss. So shout out to Zach too. We'll get to that. We got to give Zach his proper due. Saints taking them out 34-0. Hey, the Patriots scored 17 points this week. That was good. They only scored three in the previous two games. Getting outscored 69-3. That was pretty bad. So good for the Patriots in that one. But going back to the Bruins, yeah, listen, it's way too early. Uh, yeah, I give him a shot to win the playoff series. We still got Marchand. We still obviously got Pasta. Uh, as Josh mentioned too, Lindholm's obviously been one of the best trades we made in a while. So glad to see he's still there and sticking around. Still sad that we lost to Hall and all that, but Blackhawks looking all right. Blackhawks looking nice. Bedard and him looking over, they're looking all right over there. Nice little young nucleus over in Chicago. Good to see that. But I think the Bruins could win a playoff series. So I give it to the Bruins. I'll give it to the Bruins on that one. I'll give them a series. Not too much. Not too much besides that.
I agree. I mean, you look at this Bruins team. You look at Marchand, as you mentioned, Pasternak. We've still got our goalie in Lindholm. I know he kind of, went away. Wasn't as solid last year in the playoffs, and it's a tough loss whenever you don't have Bergeron on the ice. I know he kind of. Yeah, he was pretty much the heart and soul of our team. Once Chara left, he filled in as probably one of the best captains I've ever seen in Boston sports. It's going to be a tough blow, but hey, it's the new era. Patriots fans are ready for it, and that's a perfect transition there. But I think this Bruins team they should win a playoff series, and I know for a fact that they're going to at least make the playoffs. But to Ben's point, we're going to talk about those Patriots. We're going to kick it off with the Week 6 recap. We're talking everything, so we're going to get to all your comments for the recap before we get to our predictions. So let it fly. It's 7:12. We still got an hour of the show left to go. But let's start it off with this. Mac Jones with the safety in the end zone. And Ben, this was a game I predicted for the Patriots to win. I got my upset alert last week right in the Texans, and then I got my lock of the week right in the Dolphins, who had me scared earlier. But the Patriots, you're in the game. I don't even want to fully blame that sack, that safety on Mac Jones. But what the hell's going on in New England? They're 1-5. I mean, they're worse than. I mean, I know like Jared and we all joke around, and you've got the Felger and Mazes and the stupid 98.5s of the world saying these ridiculous things about these negative Patriots takes. But again, did we really expect them to be 1-5, Ben? And I know we talk about how tough their schedule was, and I harp on them every week, but. That's a winnable game against Garoppolo didn't even finish the game for the Raiders. Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick's owned for the last however many years now. That's a game they should have in their back pocket. Ben, I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to say this as the season goes on and on and on, and this is how we're going to start the show. A quarterback isn't saving this franchise. They need some serious changes in New England. If they go out and get Caleb Williams, you go out and get Dustin May, you go out and get Nix. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Jaden McDaniel. I don't know, whoever, dude. Jaden Daniels, Dylan's boy in 2 years. I don't even know. I have no idea who it's going to be. You can bring in the next college quarterback of the century. He's not going to save them right away. This team needs a complete overhaul offensively. They need to figure out some stuff with their drafting. And maybe they need to assess the head coach situation. I'm not going to be those crazy people that you see on First Take saying Bill Belichick needs to go. But something's got to give, and it's a lot deeper than just a top 10 round pick, top 10 overall pick that's going to save your franchise. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. You're delusional if you think a quarterback's going to come in and just all of a sudden shape it up. Again, I have to see the rest of the draft, and I have to see the rest of the free agency. But knowing how the Patriots roll, Ben, knowing their motto, the wide receiver 3 you to death, the bad trading out of first-round picks, the all invested on defense, I'm going to say it's the situation is deeper than just the quarterback, and the quarterback's not going to save them. So, Patriots fans, I'm sorry if you didn't want to hear that, but you've got a lot of work to do within the next couple of years. Bring the hounds, because I know the comments are going to be all over me.
In here. Yeah, I mean, listen, I see Lewis saying see you, Bill, too. I don't know. Gotta agree with Josh on that one. We're gonna pump the brakes with see you, Bill. Listen, I mean, 6 Super Bowls is, I think, enough to get you around here a couple more years. It's not all on Bill. Obviously, him, not paying all these people and thinking he can just turn all these, as Josh mentioned, the wide receiver threes into something. That time has sailed. Bill's got to get over that. He's got no Tom Brady anymore. He's got to get over that stuff. So you got to move on from that. Got to get rid of these Devontae Parkers, these Kendrick Bournes. No offense to Kendrick Bourne, but we just got to get rid of from those guys, and we just got to just want to make sure it's a job. Listen,
Ben's flustered right now. We've got a couple comments coming in here. One thing I will say.
There we go. No, it's the.
What was that?
You got me now. You got me.
I got you now. No, I could hear you the whole time.
Bad on my end. The connection's bad on my. Oh, could you? All right.
I could hear you the whole time there. I don't know if that's a comment thing from the chat. I just wanted to quickly say too before I turn it right back over to Ben. Welcome in, first time chatter here. We've got Valvez BTW, by the way. So welcome in. Glad you're in here in the chat. And I'm just going to throw this one out there as well as Ben's talking points here. Nick DeVosta, last time Patriots have scored 20 or fewer points was 1961. Dreadful.
It's pretty tough, Josh. It's pretty tough. Like I was saying before, I got a little cut off right there to make sure I was still on. They got to get a wide receiver. They got to get somebody. As Josh, Caleb Williams or Drake May coming in here is going to solve. But I wouldn't be mad if they got Marvin Harrison Jr. Go get a weapon, go get a true number one, and just go from there. Because you need to give Max somebody. You need to give Max some weapons. This offensive line stinks too. I wouldn't be mad going offensive line wide receiver because quarterback's not going to get that. Listen, I like Caleb Williams. In that Notre Dame game, I didn't like what I saw from him in that one. So my guy's Drake May. I'm putting my money in the on Drake May a little more than Caleb Williams. I know Jimmy's going to disagree with that one, but I like Drake May. But Pats, they got to go. They got to build this team all over again. They got to build this offensive line, get some wide receivers, and Bill's just got to give up that old way of coaching. Maybe he's got to let loose of the GM stuff too. Maybe he's got to step back on that and everything. So Patriots, I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Finally I get something on these guys, but Patriots need a lot more. Need a lot more than us right now. So I'm pretty happy.
I couldn't agree with you any more than that. One thing I wanted to say too is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think we talked about them beating the Ravens. I want to pivot there a little bit. I didn't see that coming. I'm pretty sure that's who you beat in week 5, right, Ben? I'm blanking. Okay. Excuse me there. I wanted to give Ben his flowers because I didn't see that coming at all. I mean, just a complete rally from the defense. I said this a couple weeks ago. I still stand by this. Like, you look at week 6, you look at week 5, and even week 6, I don't know what's going on with the Bills. The Chiefs still, I don't know who the clear powerhouse is in the NFL. It's the 49ers. I'm not freaking out. I mean, credit to Jim Schwartz, James's boy. He's been pounding this take for a while now. The Browns under Jim Schwartz as a defensive coordinator have been unbelievable. So they gave the 49ers a hard time. Brock Purdy finally cracked his armor. I'm not panicking from the 49ers, but they're the number one team. But back to this Steelers thing and back to this AFC. The Ravens go down. I was kind of not all in on them, but pushing, the green button for them to win the division. That kind of changes. This AFC is wide open. It's a weird league. You just have the Jets beat the Eagles. The Steelers beat the Ravens last week. I don't know what's going on. The Jags beat the Bills. It's just mayhem. I don't know who the favorite is in the AFC right now, Ben. I can't name one. I guess if you had a gun to my head, I'd say the Buffalo Bills, but do I even feel confident in that after their 14-9 win over the Giants? Probably not. I mean, I know Dallas has their issues, but same with the Bills. I don't know, Ben. But again, I want to talk about the Steelers because what a gutsy win for them against the Ravens.
Listen, Ravens Steelers always a close one. Everything always going to be a battle. We knew that one going in there. I was surprised they won. I was surprised everyone saw me bet against them. Listen, I thought this offense wasn't explosive. I thought this offense stunk. I thought these guys weren't ready to play, but they picked it up. Finally, we got George Pickens involved. Kenny finally doing his thing there. Defense making plays. I don't know, a little questionable. I don't know why the Ravens didn't kick a field goal right before half. I decided to go for it. A couple questionable calls from the Ravens in that game. Hey, I'll take it. Helped us out in the end, but uh, Steelers, I'm just still surprised. I don't think it's going to be too good for us this week. Just saying out there, just going to give a little preview, a little teaser to my one. But I think right now, to be honest, I don't want to say we're in too much of a better spot than the Patriots. I don't want to keep tooting my own horn with that because then we'll come back out here next week and have us get beat down by the Rams probably. So I don't want to get too off on that one. I don't want to go too crazy. Just with this Ravens game, that's always a tight game. This is a true test. I want to see if the Steelers team can come out here, compete with the Rams, who getting Cooper Cup back. I mean, that offense now. I know Williams just went down, but I think Cooper just really makes that offense flow. He still got Puka hanging out over there. So I'm interested to see if this defense can hold up against that type of offense, and if they can, I think we got a real shot at winning this division. The Browns are just a little all over the place, Josh, with it, with their offense, with Deshaun Watson. So I think everyone knows that defense. One of the historically great defense in the making right now. So I'm gonna go. I'm pretty happy with the Steelers right now, but I'm gonna hamper it right now, Josh. I'm gonna hamper it until I see this Rams game. But right now, I did not expect to be in this position.
And you're what? You're 3-2 right now? 2-3 or 3-2?
3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. You're 2 games.
3-2, leading the AFC North.
Leading the AFC North. Who would have thought? I mean, Cody and Dylan have a very gutsy bet. Let's just say Dylan definitely doesn't want the Bengals to finish better than the Steelers. There's a tattoo involved in that bet. I won't get too much into the background, but that's pretty much the baseline of it. And right now, I will say though, to kind of counter that point with the Steelers do look good, but the Ravens and Joe Burrow he's finally starting to get his calf and his feet under him. I know that calf injury's been kind of lingering for him. But I think that the Bengals are a dark horse. Not a dark horse, but they're still in contention. I like what I saw. The Steelers are huge. I mean, like you said, Ben, that they're first in the division. Every divisional win is important in any division, but especially that division. And this week's going to be an interesting matchup. Stay with us. Stay a little bit later in the show. We'll talk about that. But again, the AFC just seems to be wide open. You've got the Ravens I'm still not sold on. The Titans I think are done. The Jags, I had the Colts before with Anthony Richardson, but it seems like he's shut down for the season. I had them as my sleeper pick to win the division. That's probably not going to happen. I don't know. AFC's wide open. Huge win for the Steelers. And let me just say 2 things here. So before we get into our Week 7 predictions and just talk a little bit about Dallas. Huge win last night. You go into the bye, 4-2, massive. Dak Prescott outplays Justin Herbert. They've got some serious considerations that they need to think about in terms of the head coach over there, Brandon Staley, who I just found out today from James is a defensive-minded coach. Their defense is terrible. Dallas, it was a shot to the heart against the 49ers. I had blind love, fake love. I was blinded love, pretty much. I thought the Cowboys were going to win that game against the 49ers. They got thumped 42-10. Dak throws 3 interceptions. And then this week he comes out and is unbelievable. Did the right things, didn't do too much. Took a couple sacks, but again, no turnovers. Was very efficient. I think a quarterback rating of well over 100%. 100. Throws a touchdown. Again, makes Justin Herbert look silly. And if you think about it, I mean, a lot of missed passes from Justin Herbert. Is able to overcome a completely idiotic head coach and Mike McCarthy, who probably had the worst clock management in the first half I have ever seen. You have you have 59 seconds, 2 timeouts in your back pocket. You get a first down to CeeDee Lamb. The clock runs all the way down to 28 seconds because you don't call timeout. I just don't know what's going on. Just 2 terrible coaching staffs last night that we saw on the field on Monday night. Just silly. I know Charlie, I'm reading his comments already. I know he's going to be upset, but again, I mean, he does. Oh, that was Sam. Sam, welcome back, Sam. I Justin Herbert did make himself look silly, but again, I didn't read too much into the national media. I hope they're giving Justin Herbert some slack. As much as I love Justin Herbert, he's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. That's not a Cowboy player either. Probably one of my favorite players. But again, he needs the slack that Dak Prescott gets on a. He's literally put up on a podium on his own, and he will get roasted for bad performances. He literally outshined Justin Herbert in every single sense. Running, throwing, just decision making last night, even though Dak, I mean, I've seen better games out of Dak, but it was a pretty good one. This is what Dallas does, Ben. It was kind of a frustrating win last night. I was happy to see Brandon Cooks involved, happy to see them getting Michael Gallup still. I mean, Butterfingers now can't get onto the ball. CeeDee Lamb's getting going a little bit. Pollard looked a little better. The offensive line was okay. But again, just too many penalties, over 10 penalties. You know, whether I want to blame it on the ref or not, it's just, again, twice too many men on field. This all comes down to Mike McCarthy, who should not be... he can't even handle head coaching, let alone giving him the task of running the offensive play calling. I don't think he should have that as well. Brian Schottenheimer's an absolute idiot too. Scott, whatever the hell his name is, I don't even know his first name. Good win for Dallas, but again, I have my question marks moving forward. I have my doubts, my wearies. Got a bye week, and then we got a pretty tough LA Rams team that you guys are seeing this week, and you'll be able to tell they're a pretty good team. We'll get to those takes a little later, but again, typical Dallas against 49ers, and then I guess typical Dallas again. They got a win. They outsmarted the Chargers, but I still want to see more out of the offense, and I want to see... Mike McCarthy has to drastically change things in terms of coaching, because his coaching has been terrible. I don't even want to watch it. And shout out Stephon Gilmore, another New England Patriot who saves the day last night. We had Brandon Cook score a touchdown and Stephon Gilmore, so couldn't be any happier to have Gilly Lock on the team. I'm still him. That's what he said. That was his quote last night.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, hey, that's why you go out and get guys like that. Go get veteran players that make a difference. Hey, like you forget about that Diggs loss too a little. Still got solid cornerbacks because of him. So shout out Diggs. Yeah, that was solid from him. I got to agree with both of you, Chi coming in there too, and Gio. Josh said it as well. But yeah, the penalties. No, that's not the Cowboys, Josh. The penalties were just crazy last night. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if the refs had something. I don't know what bet they had going on with the penalties. They had the over or something, but it was just tough to watch, as she and Jeff said. I mean, it's just every single play. I know this illegal shift or illegal person downfield, but I don't know. I mean, are we really going to call it every single time a lineman goes down the field like that? Especially with the RPOs we see now. It's just getting a little ridiculous. Especially in some crucial moments down the stretch for both sides. So at least they were playing on both sides, but Cowboys and Chargers getting some lucky penalties for both of them, respected sides. So I'd like to see that a little squashed. Let's calm down with the flags, ref. Let's chill. Let's let them play. Because it did ruin. I know that game was a little slow at times, but I mean that was a good game, a good overall game. Started out fast, but kind of calmed down because of those penalties and. Defense is stepping up, but Cowboys, I think, Josh, you shouldn't, that 49ers one was rough. Obviously, anybody with eyeballs can see that one. Clearly, that's, just the Cowboys boogeyman. They just can't get over them. I'm just still mad that I start Dak against them. I don't know why I did that. I got a little more faith. I thought he was going to do something. But that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing from him. And he showed me something this game, Josh. The Chargers went a nice little rushing touchdown. Showed a little more grit in this one. So I mean, he's got back into my winning ways. Dak's a little more respect now. I saw him laughing after those. I think that third Chargers pick. I don't know why he was smiling. I mean, 49ers pick. The camera's panned over to him.
That pissed me
and he's smiling.
off.
I know, Josh. I saw Josh and Lewis. Shout out to Lewis. Lewis said in the group chat I wanted to save it for this one. But yeah, that one, I think that's when I turned the game off. I said, I don't know. I'm done with Dak. I still got my fantasy team. I'm still going to stick with them. But good point from Sam as well, jumping in there. Did look like he's a little. I know he had an injury on his non-throwing hand, middle finger. Still he's not obviously non-throwing hand, but still, still touches the ball and still affects it on every single play. If you get hit with there, as Aikman was illustrating last night, it's going to hurt. It's going to affect the throws. So, uh, just another thing with Herbert. These injuries kind of catching up to him. We all saw him the whole year last year, kind of banged up with the rib injuries, and now obviously this little one. We don't know if it's going to sort of progress with the whole year, but I mean, when Herbert gets a little banged up, he's not 100%. So it's something watch going forward. Is he going to be in that Mahomes and Allen and Joe Burrow class? I don't know. I think this injury bug might prevent him, but uh, I'm just really disappointed. I know it's going off on the Cowboys. Cowboys did great last night. Cowboys did great, except for, as Josh mentioned, Butterfingers Gallup. I don't know what he's doing. We got him like 6 targets in the beginning, and he just literally dropped everything in one catch.
10. I'm pretty sure
It's
he finished with 10 targets.
I mean, it's good. I mean, they've got the right idea. They've got the right idea, Josh. Let's get them the targets. As you mentioned, too, Brandon Cooks finally getting involved. That was great to see. Good idea, but he's just got to start delivering. But let's get back to the Chargers to wrap this up on this one. The Chargers, I mean, 229 with 2 timeouts left, and all you need is a field goal. You can't throw a pick like that. That was just, I know, Joe. We just mentioned he's him. Gilmore, great play and everything, but I mean, you got so much time. You're supposed to be this next big thing. You gotta come up with something. It's a field goal game. You gotta do something. You gotta do better. You gotta do better than that. Just toss the game away. So, last night I think Cowboys proved, hey, they're still around. Still can be one of the best teams. Are they at that 49ers level? I don't know, but the 49ers did get banged up, like losing McCaffrey and Samuel. Obviously not long term, but you never know how long that's going to affect them. I think you got the confidence, and I think the Cowboys' confidences are back. The hopes are back. Everyone's a little more on the up and up right now. That 49ers loss was bad for the community. You could just tell that was just really rough. That was just a rough game to watch for everybody. But I think this game brought hopes back. And not really for the Chargers. Chargers stink. Sorry, this year, just get Keenan Allen some fantasy points for me. And that's about it. Just too tough of a division, I think, over there. So, sorry, Chargers.
Oh, 100%. They've got their hands full with the Chiefs this weekend. I was going to kind of wait for my full picks for the week to see how they did against Dallas. They're not ready to beat the Chiefs. I mean, I know they always give the Chiefs a close game, and you think the division's kind of a long shot. I think the Chiefs have that pretty much secured. I mean, the Broncos stink. The Raiders, I mean, Garoppolo's already hurt. That doesn't look good for my overall Garoppolo sense and how I feel on him. But again, it's tough for me to say anything about the Chargers. I mean, I know people say, oh, James always says Chargers are the Cowboys of the AFC. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, we've been more successful. I'd say we're closer to the Bills in terms of that. But Chargers got to figure it out. And Justin Herbert, a lot of criticism's been coming at him from a lot of my friends. Slowly, the media's pretty boy, the media's darling. They don't like to give him credit. I mean, I'm a Justin Herbert fanboy myself. But you got to give credit where it's due. You got to give criticism where it's due. And he didn't play well last night. He's playing through some banged up injury. Last year was a step back after ascending in the right direction the first 2 years of his career. Chargers have some serious issues, Ben, and I think it starts with Brandon Staley and then trickles all the way down to some smaller things. Herbert's still the guy, still the future of that team. I'm not saying he's not, but he needs somebody in there who can coach him up right. I would have liked to see somebody like Sean Payton go there instead of the Denver Broncos. That is a complete disaster. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. I know, Ben, to your point, I mean, the 49ers took the soul out of us. They did what you were doing a couple weeks ago where you were like, everybody needs to relax with Dallas. They're legit, but they're not that legit yet. They're not 49ers level yet. They're not Eagles level yet, some people would say. But they humbled me a little bit, and I think it's going to be a long, frustrating year for the Cowboys. In terms of me, I think we'll make the playoffs. But again, this was going to be my take if I came on the podcast last week, and I'll leave it like this before we get to our predictions. What Dallas needs to do is you're 1 game behind Philly. You still have 2 games against Philly in your pocket. You're still undefeated in the division. You've got more conference games ahead of you. You're 4-2. You've got a very, very tough stretch coming up here. You need to handle business, control your own destiny, and control the division. If you can somehow come back and win the division, get a home playoff game, then you change my mind a little bit here on how far we can go this year. But right now, I'd say, wild card team, and it's kind of nerve wracking if we have to go into somewhere like San Francisco going into week 2 again, divisional round. Don't want to see that, but just win the division, and I think we can do that. But it's going to be a pretty long slope and a pretty tough hill ahead of us, and a tough ride. But I got faith. That's what they need to do. That's the Cowboys' goal: win the division. We don't need to focus on getting the bye. Just win the division.
I like it, Josh. I like it, especially as we mentioned. I mean, the Eagles slipping up a little, as we mentioned. Any given Sunday, Jets. Shout out to the Jets, helping them out, helping the boys out. It was kind of a strange game. Listen, I wasn't fully tuned into it, but I mean, listen, the Jets, I guess, field goal them to death. It was a good game from was it Zerline? So shout out to the Jets in that one. But yeah, I mean, listen, the Cowboys get home field advantage sort of in this playoffs. I think that's a huge boost to them. Need that. You want to give every disadvantage to the Eagles, especially losing Lane Johnson now. Don't know how long he's going to be out. Looking like it's going to be a substantial amount of time. But as Nick DeVos said too, yeah, you can't forget about the Lions. The NFC is a little sneaky this year. NFC. It's got some sneaky little teams. I like this Lions team. I got a great defense. Just lost Montgomery, but hopefully Jahmyr Gibbs can finally start doing something, and they can start making that first round pick worth something. I don't know how they haven't done it. They haven't really utilized them too much yet. I don't know if they're just waiting for it, but hopefully now with the Montgomery injury, they can snap him up in there. But FC's a little intriguing, Josh. So at the same token, I think the Cowboys can take advantage of that. But Cowboys gotta watch that. They got a little competition in there. But I think, yeah, going forward, just need that home field advantage. Need all the advantages they can get. Because this offense still red zone woes, and you gotta just figure out. I know we gotta get to CD every time, but maybe other guys can start stepping up to it a little. Maybe the Cooks can have in a couple more games like that, because CD is going to perform. He's going to get his targets, but we just need a little more from the supporting cast right now. So I'm all in for the Cowboys right now. Let's go. NFC's open. I don't want to say too much after that, but that 49ers loss is tough, Josh. That 49ers loss is tough to cope with, tough to say anything else about the Cowboys, but I like the Cowboys right now. Let's keep it going. The NFC.
We've got Rob entering the chat. Yeah, as you mentioned, don't forget, as Ben had mentioned, and Nick DeVosta said, do not forget about those Lions. They're 5-1 right now. I mean, they're could be running away with the division, and hey, could be pushing over to a bye. Them and the 49ers. We'll see. This is a game that would hold a lot and still does within our group chat and within the local region of New England because Buffalo's not too far away. The 4-2 Buffalo Bills, who just scratched and clawed away against the Giants last week, travel into New England, which typically is a very good game, but this year on paper, Patriots 1-5. A lot of people kind of like, interest levels vary. I'm going to start it off here with a double whammy for you guys. This is my lock of the week. And I usually don't tend to do this. I don't like to do this stuff because we always talk about the Cowboys. We always talk about the Steelers on our podcast. Local team, mine and Ben's favorite teams. That's just what we do. The Patriots are so bad that I haven't seen them this bad ever in my lifetime. Like, I really thought about that Monday after their Sunday evening performance and was like, wow, this is the worst New England Patriots team I have ever seen. Even with Cam Newton, even with the Matt Castle year, they almost made the playoffs and won when Tom Brady hurt himself. They've never missed the playoffs with Tom Brady starting as a quarterback. They missed last year with Mac Jones, but they still were competitive. They've been somewhat competitive this year, but their record is terrible. They lost Gonzalez. They there is nothing about this New England Patriots team right now that doesn't scream this is the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime. I know there's going to be some guy who's 45 years old watching the stream or 30s that says, hey, you're completely wrong. Before Tom Brady, they struggled a little bit. The Steve Grogan era, all that stuff. It wasn't always peaches and rainbows. But this team is bad, and the Buffalo Bills are going to beat down on them. They've always struggled against the Buffalo Bills, and I know I said this to James, excuse me, that, Buffalo Bills, I was joking, I don't want, the Buffalo Bills don't want to mess around and lose to the Patriots because this would be really bad, especially for Jared, who's been puffing his chest. Shout out to Jared. But they're not going to lose. Just on paper, the Diggs and company always shred the Patriots defense. They don't even have Gonzalez. They don't have Judon. This is my lock of the week, and I think the Buffalo Bills are going to go into New England and maybe win by 20 or more. Their offense looked stagnant last week. They looked tough 2 weeks ago against the Jaguars, who just have their number. Somebody can correct me on that, but I'm pretty sure the last 2 or 3 times that the Jaguars have played the Bills, the Jaguars have come away with a win. But that's different here for the Buffalo Bills. This is a different team. I think we're going to see a little bit more of what we saw against Miami when they were at home. The New England Patriots don't, it seems to me like the players are even all in on that top 10 pick. They're going to lose this game. They're going to go 1-6, and that's just how it's going to be. Maybe they prove me wrong. Hopefully somebody, Mac Jones, you're watching. He just has zero confidence. This team is very close to making some wild moves mid-season. I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills win 37-13 in a thrashing in New England.
I like that. Music to my ears, Josh. I love it too. And always love when Rob enters the chat, I should say. Shout out Rob. I haven't talked to him in a little while. But yeah, they probably shouldn't show up for the rest of the season. And I can't verify his take. I know he said he wants to get his flowers because he said this 100% would happen. Listen, we know he's always trolling. We know what you were doing with that one. I was right there beside you. I was saying the same thing about the Patriots every year. I'm always looking for the troll job as well on them. But no, Rob, you're not going to get that one. All the non-Patriots fans wanted to see this happen. So I'm right there with you. Listen, I predicted this too. Maybe not to this degree, but we saw a decline coming with this team. It was going to be, I didn't know it was going to be this soon, but yeah, they probably shouldn't show up for the rest of the season, mainly because that schedule, really rough schedule, and this offense is just bad. This offense is just bad, and Patriots fans should probably just go with Jeff said, and go Celtics. Celtics got a really good team. Let's focus on the Celtics. Sam, go into detail with it. I like some of the details in there, Sam, but probably get along those lines too. I'd probably do the hot dog water over the Patriots at this point. But yeah, hey, Steelers relocate. We're going to be able to see Steelers Pats Thursday night eventually too. I'll be the full bragging rights will be on display, even though we beat the Raiders. So I know the Patriots fans always used to do that to me. Whenever we lost to somebody, they beat them. They used to always love to bring that up. So hey, we beat the Raiders. And they didn't, so just want to put that out there. But yeah, it's going to be a beatdown. They probably shouldn't show up, especially after this sort of slow-paced Giants game. I'm going to say, that defense for the Giants came to play. Josh Allen got a little banged up, but I think this offense, this Patriots team is just what this offense needed from the Bills to get back into it, get a nice little comeback game. Yeah, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. There's really no simple way around it. The depth. It's unfortunate. Like I'm saying, I'm gonna go back to that schedule point. It's just too tough a schedule to overcome with this roster. Let's go look at Marvin Harrison. I'm gonna be on the Marvin Harrison train. I know we don't need a quarterback. Let's go get I'll put on the radio. I'd still listen, Rob. I'd still listen to the radio version. But yeah, go get Marvin Harrison. Go get a lineman. I know Mac's awful and everything, but he's not the biggest problem the Patriots have right now. So I think you can sit with him a little. I know, yeah, these guys don't want. Josh doesn't want him. Nobody wants Mac, but listen, you can't have Tom Brady forever. You guys got to deal with it too. I'm dealing with Kenny. Listen, I'm still riding that high. The Ravens win. I'll probably get let down this week soon too with Kenny. So I'll be back there with you guys. But uh, yeah, Patriots Bills. This I'll give it. I'll give it 27-10. 27-10. I think Bills just control this one. It's just they're just not good. They're just not going to get Denise coming in there too. New coach. Like I said,
Peace. Hot
maybe
takes. Here we go. She's done. Done.
everyone's done with Bill. Everyone's done with Bill, but let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes on the new coach. I think Bill's earned the right to stay a little longer. Let's give him a couple more chances. I mean, 6 rings is pretty good. 6 rings is, I mean, the Lions haven't been to a Super Bowl in, I think, ever. so, so maybe let's pump it. Uh, yeah, I like that idea, Sam. I like that idea. A little live play-by-play
I
with Rob on there.
I will say I've always wanted to do like a me and Ben like play by play, or just me and Ben just open watching a game, kind of like the way they do Barstool, but different, not as like that, more just like me and Ben breaking the game down. Not Barstool, that was the
That'd
wrong
be sick.
one. More like the Manning brothers, like when they break it down, just the copyrights with the. I've actually that'd be hilarious. Rob would have to keep it PG-13, but I will say that
I want to get to that one. Listen, Rob's right on that one. The coach can only do so much. Rob's on fire today. Rob's on fire tonight. He's getting this low hanging fruit with the Pats. He's just getting his